Hello ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here for DigitalDojos.com. Today we're going to be reviewing the indie game known as Her Story. So today I want to review a new indie game that's been gaining a lot of traction, known as Her Story. It was recently released, it's available for Steam and iOS for about $5, and it's cross-platform for Windows and Mac OS X. It's made by Sam Barlow, creator of Silent Hill, Shattered Memories, and Isle. Now this review will contain no spoilers. There are some clips, but majority of which are muted. There is one at the end which I feature, however, it's a main part in the trailer anyhow. Other than that, everything is spoiler-free. Additionally, like I said, I've included some gameplay footage while I was actually playing through my initial playthrough. So you kind of get this, live view of what I was going through from, confusion to all sorts of other stuff and how I went about it in my 3 to 4 hours of gameplay that it took. Now, that's the great thing about this game. Once it's over, there's just so much more to fill in. So with that, let's jump right into the review. Her Story is a crime fiction game where you play the role of, in a sense, a detective. You're thrown into this murder story with no background, armed with what's reminiscent of a Windows 95-based PC, and your job is to scan through the database of video footage searching for terms relative to clips that you start off with and you unlock along the way. That can be key phrases, people, what have you, allowing you to piece together the story at your own pace in your own order. The closest thing to helping you is the database checker tool, which is provided on your virtual desktop, which shows you your overall progress of clips gathered. Her Story, however, is not your average game. Don't expect any killer graphics, vast maps and scenery, shooting or what have you. Its focus is very simple, and that's interactive storytelling. It's more of an experience. The building of a story, characters, scenes, and events that take place in it. And in Her Story, the focus is on this woman who's been interviewed 7 times by the police about the murder of her husband. Your job is to pick up on clues, hints, and other information about said murder. The typical who did it, how, when, why. The great thing about this game is it really throws you in that detective mode. I personally had a piece of paper handy, throwing together clues and drawing up terms on my own conclusions as to what had happened. As the story progresses, you begin to unravel a lot of the overall story. However, at times there's information that seems to throw you in a loop, while other information that may be seemingly small you may have missed, and it plays a major role in her story. The great thing about the game is once you've gathered enough vital information, you can end the game there and piece together the main storyline. However, it's worth noting once you complete it, you can still go onwards to play after and continue to get additional clips that you may have missed through your gameplay. For fans of Serial, the podcast, mystery novels, or what have you, this is simply a must-have. The ending brings together and imparts major questions while also leaving you as a player in a state of disbelief. I personally had to run through clips and evidence again to reassure myself of certain things, and that's the thing that makes Her Story so great. The overall story in question is made up by you at your own pace. It's not played the same way by every player out there. The conclusion is really drawn up based on what you believe and what your evidence shows you. It easily had me going on for hours after completing the game, matching up my theories against others online, looking for plot holes, reading across all sorts of theories and what have you across forums. Her Story is a game that, while it's not all up in your face with action or quote-unquote actual gameplay, it sticks with you. It leaves you with questions, some that will be answered, some that won't, some confusion overall, but the overall narrative is what makes the game what it is. The great performance by the actress Vivia Seyfert, music and sounds of being in the office. It's so subtle, but really puts you in that frame of mind that you're sitting in front of this computer trying to piece a story together. Never has a more simple premise of a woman being interviewed by police has equated to something that provides hours of gameplay, but even more so an afterthought. At its price on Steam and iOS, this game is simply a definite download and 2 thumbs up from my perspective. Like a movie that you walk out of the theater just, feeling completely baffled by, Her Story produces that same result, but lets you as a player interact and piece it all together, and that can take you anywhere from hours to days. An interactive story that leaves you with more questions after you've completed the game than when you started. Grab Her Story today on Steam or iOS. For mystery fans or a game that simply makes you think, you won't be disappointed.
And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
I hope you enjoyed this review of Her Story. Feel free to leave your own feedback about the game in the comments down below. Please, no spoilers. I don't want to have to block them or remove comments. I will probably be making an additional video with my overall thoughts containing spoilers about the game, so you can feel free to check that out once that goes up. Nonetheless, like the video, thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you aren't subscribed. For more content and my full article review with more information, head over to digitaldojos.com. Thanks for watching.